What up, YouTube? It's your boy Big Cool coming to you from Colossal Boxing Talk. And today I'm here to talk about what we just witnessed on PBC on NBC. Um, the card night tonight was headlined by Danny Garcia taking on Lamont Peterson in a 143-pound catch weight in the main event at the Barclays Arena in Brooklyn, New York. On the undercard, we had Andy Lee, who was supposed to defend his WBO middleweight title against Kid Chocolate Peter Quillin, but Quillin didn't make weight, so the fight was a non-title fight. In the first round, it was slow. Both guys, it was a fill-out process, and close to the end of the round, Quillin caught Lee with a beautiful straight right hand that put him down and had him, really badly hurt. He got back up, and he landed some more leather on Lee, who was hurt, who got knocked down again, but I don't think it was counted as a knockdown in the at the end of the first round. Second round, more the same. Filling out process. Neither guy throwing. It seemed no more than 10 to 15 punches around. The third round came around. Quillin dropped him again, and the fight started to pick up. But Eddie Lee, to his credit, he composed himself. Regained his beings about him, and he pressed on and battled on. He boxed well. He got his own knockdown on his patent right hook that would have put any other fighter to sleep. But give Quillin credit, he's shown to have a good chin in this fight. He took some hellacious right hooks and straight lefts from Lee, but he did go down in the seventh round for the first time in his career. And it was it was a good fight, a really good action fight. They exchanged in the eighth round, landed big rights and left from both guys, and it was an action round, and it ended up being a draw, and you can't argue with that. It was a close fight. I gave it 113 to 112 for Quillin, but like I said, it was a very good fight, and hopefully there's a rematch for the WBO title. This time Quillin can make the weight and provide an even more exciting fight in a potential sequel. Now on to the main event. We had Danny Garcia and Lamont Peterson basically moving up to 147. I don't know if Lamont will be going back down to 140, but he performed well in this fight, as did Danny Garcia early. Lamont came out with with a very good game plan, but it proved to be costly. Later on in the fight because the judges, gave the fight to Danny Garcia. 115 to 113. One judge scored a draw 114, which you couldn't be mad at. I'm not mad that Danny got the decision, even though I feel that Lamont won. He did kind of dig himself in a hole early by not being active enough on the offensive end and allowing Danny to gain to win rounds due to Lamont's inactivity. But overall, Lamont showed that he was the better guy. When the eighth round came around, he started to gain momentum. He started digging to the body. I would have liked to see him go to the body and fight how he did from rounds 8 to 12 early in the fight, but that didn't happen. He was advised by his trainer to use the jab, stay on the outside, frustrate Danny, make him come to him. He also avoided some of Danny's big shots, but Danny did some excellent work himself. He worked the body terrifically. He landed some nice right hands upstairs, some nice left hooks. A lot of those shots, though, when it comes to left hook and the right hand, Lamont rolled those later on in the fight. He buzzed him and he hurt Garcia later on in the fight. He cut his eye. He bruised him up real bad. But like I said, he didn't do enough in the early rounds to secure, enough of those rounds to, go along with the later rounds that he won. And he ended up on a, majority decision defeat. But I would also love to see a sequel to this fight. In my opinion, Lamont proved that he's the better fighter, but he didn't win simply because he wasn't active enough in the early rounds. And credit to Danny Garcia for doing what you have to do. You have to be active. You have to throw. You have to press the action in order to get these rounds in the bag, especially against a guy that's not throwing punches. So overall, it was a very good night of action. The fight with Danny Garcia and Lamont Peterson didn't live up to the hype. We both know guys. Both of these guys are known to be in terrific fights, especially Lamont, who sometimes seems to throw caution to the wind and go head first. And he's won some fights and he's also lost some fights doing that. But it picked up later on in the fight, and I would love for these guys to, fight again, both Peterson and Garcia, as well as Quillin and Lee. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below and tell me what you thought about tonight's PBC fight card on NBC, and what do you think is next for both guys, and who would you like to see? Would you like to see rematches in both of these fights, or who would you like to see them fight next, if not rematches? And like the video, subscribe to the channel, and go over to Facebook and like our Colossal Boxing Talk page. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Colossal CBT. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.